And joining us now is Tannecia Stephenson. She's a physics professor and climate expert at the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. Wow, Tannecia, this was the strongest hurricane ever to hit Jamaica. How are you and your family and friends all doing this morning?
Thanks, Anna. We're doing well. We too are seeing the images across our country of the level of devastation. It's heartbreaking. It's sobering for us as a country. But we are now in the mode of looking at how we can recover. We have been planning for this, seeing areas where our planning was not sufficient, but we were also preparing for post this storm. And now those contingencies come in play.
What are you seeing, and what has, been your experience in just the last 24 hours?
So personally here in Kingston, we did have immense rainfall and strong winds. But for parts of the country, such as St. Elizabeth, Hanover, Trelawney, Mandeville, Westmoreland, we're seeing that there was widespread flooding, down poles, trees, flooded roadways. There was coastal flooding in communities. Cars inundated, roofs of homes, and some homes destroyed, hospitals devastated. So it has been quite an impact, particularly in the southwestern parts of the country.
You have expertise in the science of all of this, and so I want to get your thoughts on some of the measurements coming out of this storm. Hurricane hunters, they measured a wind speed, get this, as high as 252 miles per hour at one point. They use this special instrument. They drop it into these storms to gather the data. They say that's the fastest wind they've ever measured for a tropical cyclone. That's hard to even imagine. Can you give us a sense of how much power that is?
Anna, it is pretty scary, if I should use those words. Remember, to get to a category 5, you just need maximum sustained winds of over 157. And to have a storm that is recording 185, 225 miles per hour is telling, is startling. And to know that this is what came onto the island. We look back at its track, we look back at how slowly it moved across the warmer than normal waters of the Caribbean and how that allowed this storm to strengthen. We look at the rapid intensification that unfolded, and that intensification was twice the rate that is required, that's used as the criteria for rapid intensification. To see all of that coming together in Hurricane Melissa is startling, and just reminds us of this is the kind of trends we are observing under a warmer climate.
We already mentioned Melissa is the strongest hurricane to hit Jamaica since the record keeping began over 170 years ago. Is there any way to prepare for something like this?
Anna, that indeed is the question. When we look at how our government coordinated, we had daily press briefings for over 7 days, and we got to hear what ministries were doing and the contingencies that were put in place. The utilities coordinated and had a press conference and updated us that, okay, linesmen across the region have been engaged to help with post-recovery. Pumping stations for water, our Minister of Water, Climate Change, Water, Environment and Climate Change shared. These pumping stations had alternative energy so that when we lost power, not all systems went down. It's hearing those kinds of plans and coordination, and even personal plans that organizations put in place. And just knowing that for category 5 coming with 185 miles per hour winds and heavy rains, just knowing that some of this would not have been sufficient. All we could do as a country is prepare as best as we could.
Yep. Well, Tannecia Stephenson, glad to see you safe. We wish you and the entire island, the best of days ahead as can be. Thank you very much for being here with us and sharing with us.